Welcome, everybody, to the Wednesday Night Dash Pocono 100. My name is Eli Singh, and I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight here on Stadium Scene TV. We're going to have one heck of a time here. It is honestly one of the most interesting tracks on a calendar, that you could ever have here at Pocono.
Hey, so
what a wild what a wild place that this place is. It's got a lot of options, a lot of scenarios for stuff to go crazy because it's such a unique track. The Pocono 100 here, presented by Stadium Scene TV. We are in Pennsylvania. It's gonna be one heck of a time. I am very excited for how tonight's race is gonna go, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's take a look at that crazy track map that I was mentioning to you guys. Everybody calls this an oval, but it may as well be a triangle. Bit of an interesting track here. 3 corners. Turn 1 at a 14-degree turn. Very tight turn. Big baking on turn 1. That's where, in my opinion, I'm going to see the majority of things go wrong. Turn 2 is where we're going to see a few things go wrong as well. But turn 3 is usually pretty chilled out. Everybody can kind of get on the power a little bit earlier. There's not a whole lot of opportunity for your rear end to get loose coming out of turn 3. Unless you're really pushing it and your tires are starting to degrade pretty big time. 2.5 miles here. 40 laps, like I mentioned. Competition caution lap will be on lap 20. And we are almost done with our 15-minute practice. We'll be getting into qualification in just a little bit. Before we do get into the racing, obviously, we do need to go take a look at our standings for the season so far. We got Eric Richardson sitting on top. He is on a dominant streak so far with 2 wins and a second-place finish in the first 3 races. Absolutely incredible. And if you notice, 2nd through 6th is separated by only 8 points. Colton Gardner all the way down to Caden McAravey. It's so tight. Now, obviously, someone like Hunter Hughes, Scott McCarris, they're going to want to have some serious redemption from last week. Last week was a bit of a carnage fest. And then someone like DJ, Eric Blum, they're just hoping to get some good points. They've been pretty unlucky so far this season, so they're hoping luck comes their way. Tyler Lugo-Vickery, also sitting in 7th, is really hoping for some good luck as he's trying his best to defend last season's championship. But right now, it's looking like Eric Richardson is running away with it. Let's take a look at our calendar. I do want to mention, guys, we have an off week next week, as we did just have one this last week. Thank you so much for coming back for another night here today. After our off week, this next track we will be going to is the Chicago Street Circuit. After today's race, we will be officially at the halfway mark of this season, and the Chicago Street Circuit, I'm expecting, will shake up a lot of the results and the points. It's a very unique track for these next gen cars. They've got to turn more than just left. They also got to make some right turns. It's a very tight track too. Down the streets of the metropolitan area of Chicago. And a lot of stuff can go wrong. A lot of big crashes, obviously, quite possible. But we're not going to have the same kind of big ones that we have in on tracks like Pocono here and other oval tracks. Now, I do want to say a big thank you to Stadium Scene TV and give ourselves a little bit of a shout out of what we got this week on House of Hockey. This week on House of Hockey, we got Breezy and Ray discussing NHL All-Star Weekend 2023 in Sunrise, Florida. Ray has lots to rant about, including the overall broadcast and complicated skills events. Breezy has lots to rave about, including the Kachuk brothers and Bo Horvat. They're looking forward to the 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend in Toronto and the role Justin Bieber should have in it, along with the hockey hunk of the week. Now, I do want to go ahead and take a look at our qualifying right now, as everybody is out there on qualifying. You can see the qualifying times up top rolling through. And I'm right now seeing Tyler Vickery putting down one heck of a lap, sitting at a 54.823. Amazing lap from him. The next closest one is Hunter Hughes, though, only 0.03 of a second behind. And then Eric Richardson leading the championship, as we know, obviously 1.8 tenths behind. Caden McAravey 1.9 tenths behind. Wow. It is going to be a tight qualifying, almost certainly. We're almost at the end of it. Have a couple more laps to go. About 1 minute and 8 seconds left, and a 55-second lap means that if you're not on one
Colton.
relatively quickly, you're not going to get a chance to set another one. Let's see what these guys can do here tonight. We're looking like 8 racers here tonight. If we counted that correctly, I think I did my maths quite right. Usually I'm pretty decent at maths. Yes, I did do maths right. We got 8 drivers here tonight. Colton Gardner right now sitting actually on provisional pole at a 54.665. Just absolutely dominated. That last lap destroyed Tyler's time by 1.5 tenths. So now Tyler's gotta set a good one. But I don't know if he's gonna get a chance. I don't think he's out there. So that is that's it for Tyler. The number 8 car is the last one out there, and that's Brian McKinney. And he is right now sitting in 6th. Let's take a look at him finishing his lap. He's got a purple sector right here. Beautiful Haas livery. That's pretty. This looks not too pedestrian. It looks like he's hauling. Let's see if he goes any faster. Brian McKinney crossed the line. Does not improve. Unfortunate for Brian McKinney. Sets himself still in 6th place. And all the drivers will be getting ready to line up on the grid here quite soon. Oh my Lanta. I am excited for this race here tonight. Last time we were out here, it was a little bit wild. And I'm definitely expecting more craziness this week. Let's go ahead and get a farther view of the whole track. Remember, this crazy track with the 3 turns, all of them quite different, is going to require the drivers to actually, really have to get into a groove of multiple different cornering styles, especially turn 1, that very tight 14-degree bank. You're going to have to potentially even shift down to 4th. I'm expecting some people to shift down for that corner. If I'm going to be honest with you, I really do think that we'll see a few people really trying to shift down and grip in it. Other than that, turns 2 and 3 are relatively tame, especially turn 3. Turn 3, you can really just send it. So I'm really just looking for turn 1 mistakes, turn 1 crazies, turn 1 pileups, all the good stuff. Again, our pole position right now went to Colton Gardner with a 54.7. Tyler Vickery in 2nd. 2 tenths behind. Hunter Hughes just barely behind him. Eric Richardson behind. Caden McAravey in 5th. Brian McKinney in 6th. Scott McCarris in 7th. And DJ Fluck in 8th. 1.5 seconds off the pace for DJ. A bit of a gap. Definitely not what we like to see from DJ. Definitely not what he likes to see from his cockpit. That's for sure. But, long race, 40 laps. A lot of stuff can happen. A lot can change. So the race is only just about to begin as everybody piles out of the pits and on to turn 1 to get this pace lap done and dusted. What are you guys thinking for tonight? Are we thinking we're going to see a big, another big wreck fest like we've seen in the last couple races? Some big crashes, or do you think we're gonna have a little bit cleaner of a start? As they're mentioning in the chat right now.
Not the starting first gear, okay? I promise.
They're making jokes about it right now, but all jokes aside, it was
lesson learned.
Absolutely wild last week, and we definitely don't want to repeat that if we could avoid it. So that's all these guys.
Why do you think I decided to start?
Can keep it clean, cool, calm, and collected. This will be a blast.
To hang out with me.
Good luck to all the drivers as they're coming around turn 2. Just getting excited. Let's go ahead and get on the cockpit cam of one of our favorites here, Mr. Brian McKinney. Right now sitting in 6th. The number 8 car.
I got a new computer on the way.
How will he do on this start? We can see all the drivers getting ready for this. Go to the 2nd place guy right here, Tyler Vickery. He's watching that pace car. And the pace car's in. We got green flag. Here we go. Tyler Vickery with a pretty solid start right there. The 18 car underneath him, Hunter Hughes, gets a little bit better of a launch, actually, I think. But the leader, Colton Gardner, sitting on pole, has absolutely taken advantage of that pole position, and he flies off the lights. Into turn 1 he goes. Looks very clean. Tyler Vickery on the outside of Hunter Hughes. Still looking pretty cool, calm and collected. Again, no spins like there were on the launch last week. So far, everybody keeping it clean. Look at that. We like seeing that. DJ Flick at the very back. Unfortunate for him, he's losing pace with the group right here in the 18 car, pushing Tyler Vickery up to the wall, going into turn 2. Tyler Vickery slots in behind. He's going to get the switchback going down under it. It's a little bit squirrely on exit, though, and he actually ends up losing some pace. He's going to get some draft now. The 3 car right behind him, Mr. Hunter Hughes. Or sorry, Mr. Caden McAravey is right behind him as well. The Wrangler. Too far to really catch much of a draft, if I'm to be honest with you. And it's really just a fight right now between second and third. Tyler Vickery wants to get in front as quick as possible because he needs to start putting some attack on the leader. He's going to take the lowest line here into turn 1. It's pretty solid. And he flies out. We're going to watch the cars all fly by the line here, going towards turn 2. Look at them. They're side by side going into turn 2. They're going to dive it. I'm sure Tyler wanting to get that low line once again. Looks pretty confident and clean for him. But you can see that he's really struggling on the exits as compared to Hunter Hughes, who's coming out of the exits very strong every single time. So I think that's something that Tyler's going to have to kind of reevaluate with his strategy. He seems to be taking that low line corner after corner. And when he's side by side, I think maybe he needs to make sure that he can really send it into one. And just get some special grip. I mean, like, look at this again. Super low line for Tyler. But again, I guarantee his exit's going to struggle. Unless Hunter struggles on the exit, actually. Hold on a second. That is Tyler Vickery, I think, edging out Hunter by a nose right now. It's very close. So close as they're flying down. Look at them. They are neck and neck still. It is as tight as it could possibly get. But let's go ahead and take a look at Colton Gardner. Look at how far he is ahead of everybody. Take a look at that gearbox cam. Everybody is so far away from him. He's hardly even paying attention. Colton Gardner, obviously, if he can keep this pace up, he will win his first race here this season, which I'm sure he would be really stoked about. But still a lot of racing to go. Nowhere near decided yet. The 8 car, the Haas, near the back of Mr. Brian McKinney. He's pretty far back, but he's got some more to do. He can catch up. Scott McCarris behind him. We've given Scott McCarris quite a bit of love. And I personally think that Scott McCarris deserves it because Scott McCarris is such a fun one to watch with that beautiful Wonder Bread car. It just flew by right there. He's trying to catch up to Brian McKinney, but he's losing touch slowly but surely, about almost half a second down from Brian. And if you take a look at the relatives right now, it's a big gap to the leader, Hunter Hughes, a whole second away. Sitting in second, but he is still side by side with Tyler. They go bumping.
Hunter, I don't know if I squeezed you.
And the 24 car will lose out to that one big time. I think Tyler decided to give an apology in the chat, if you could hear that. It was very nice. Definitely not necessary. I thought that was pretty fair and clean racing. A little bit of bumping never hurt anybody, right? It's half the fun of racing when you get door to door, especially on a corner or on a track like this, where that dive into turn 1 is so committed. This turn 2, 3 here is a little bit more tame, as we've talked about a little bit. You can see how wide they can go on the exit right there. Almost graces the wall. It does Hunter Hughes. He got pretty close to getting a little bit of paint shared with that gray wall, but he kept it out just barely. You can see this from the point of view of Tyler Vickery. Let's take a look at what he's got inside the cockpit. The driver's eye cam that we've got right here, everybody. He's trying to catch that Wrangler car, catching the draft. But again, the Wrangler car also has the draft, so they're going to be late on the lift. Tyler this time opting for a higher line. Let's see if he's got the skill to hold the high line as well as he did the low line. I think he did just fine. As McAravey drops back pretty significantly. Yeah, he really dropped back. Tyler's on a run. Tyler's on a big run. He's going to drive it into turn 3. And he's ahead now. Wow, what a run. Tyler Vickery, that was absolutely beautiful. Sent him to turn 2. It worked out for him, but now the 18 car is going to try to go low. Stick a nose in there. He's in there. But Tyler should have the exit. Oh, yeah, he does. Just fine. Doesn't even have to worry about it. He is cruising, cruising, cruising. Now a little bit farther back. I do see a bit of a gap between, or a bit of a fight between Brian McKinney and Scott McCarris. Let's take a look at this little tussle back here. Scott McCarris used to actually hanging out closer to the front of the pack. This is a little bit weird for him. Sitting down low. But he is fighting Brian McKinney, who has not necessarily been his rival this whole season. They've been relatively close pace for a majority of the season, if I do say so. We're only halfway in, though. So anything can happen. Scott McCarris going really wide on exit, but it got him a good run, and he's going to be on the outside of the Haas now. McKinney going to have to defend big time as Scott McCarris tries to go around the outside into turn 3. McKinney going to have the better exit probably, but maybe not because McKinney did get under the apron just a little bit, and that unsettled him. That let Scott McCarris get through. No problem. McCarris now through on the attack, trying to get another position made up. But now McKinney getting the draft. Will just settle to stay behind. He doesn't want to chance it any more than he has to. The 13 car, the leader of the championship, Mr. Eric Richardson, is quite out of touch today, if you notice. You'll see him fly by. Right there, Eric Richardson. He's barely holding it. He's fighting Scott McCarris to hold down just 5th place. Which is definitely not at all where Eric Richardson is used to being this season. He's used to being right up at the front. Having a good time, chopping it up with the leaders. And there goes McCarris on the outside. Look at that late lunge. He's trying to hold it in. I think he probably got a little bit of understeer going into that one. Lost some grip, but now he's going to tuck it back again. Catch the draft. Goes down low. He's on that 3rd lane. What will he do here? Late lift again. It is from Scott McCarris. He's going to try to hold it as tight as he possibly can. It's looking like Eric Richardson is almost going to have to just let him go because of how good of a move that was from McCarris. Look at how much track he used. Absolutely every inch available. And he cruised on through into 5th now. Scott McCarris looking solid to recover this race. For not the best start, I would say, especially from his standards. Gets a little bit of wall tap, though. Hold on.
You right into that.
I think he might be a little bit nervous. Now the Haas car is going to dive in there. Brian McKinney says, hey, no, you guys are having too much fun. Let me have some fun with you guys. I want to jump in the action. Goes down low underneath the championship leader and almost gets it done, but not quite. It's still going to be side by side into turn 1 as they fly down that start-finish straight. Lane lines showing. May as well be glowing. They are bright here on this sunny Pennsylvania day. And still the Haas car just holding it down low. Rocks out very wide right there. After realizing he wasn't going to have it through the middle of that corner, he says, nah, I'll just go ahead and rock out and tuck back in. Very smart. Go ahead and take a look at our leader right here, Colton Gardner. We had to switch cameras by a pretty big margin because look at how far ahead he is from the rest of the pack. Again, let's take a look at that gearbox camera. You can barely even see those specks behind him. They're so far away. He is looking so good. But 2nd and 3rd of Tyler Vickery and Caden McAravey are fighting. It is very close. Them. The 2 blue and yellow cars, the Rain X and the Wrangler. Giving everything they got. Number 3 car putting some pressure on Tyler Vickery. Got his nose down low again. Vickery understeered a little bit going into the corner right there. And he left the door open for Caden. And now Caden's going to be challenging him. Side by side into turn 2. They go. Who's going to be later on the lift? It's looking like it's Caden. He dove in really late. But just enough to the point he can hug that inside line. He's going to swing past the Wrangler car back up in front. The 24. Not the better of the pair. Has to stay behind for turn 3. But he will have a very good draft. Here, oh, look at the run that 24 looks like he has. You can see how much speed he was getting mid-corner, but then the exit favored favored Caden by a pretty big margin. 12 laps down here today. About 38 to go. 28. Math is hard. 28 laps to go. 29 minutes specifically, which would make about sense if you think about the lap times here. And they are still flying, but just back behind, do I see Eric Richardson in a bit of a heated battle with Scott McCarris? I do. Scott McCarris is in front right now, but only just. Oh, that was an opportunity right there for Eric. He took a nose out. He said, hey, notice me here. Scott McCarris definitely did notice and dove in a little bit early to defend the attacking 13 car, who seems to be a little bit slow into turn 3. May even open up a door for Brian McKinney behind. But not quite. I do want to give some love to those who are hanging out in the back. Hunter Hughes a little farther back after such a good start for him. He's fallen down the order. Very unfortunate for him. And then at the very back, DJ Fluck. Fortunately hanging out back here. Eric Richardson still fighting with McCarris. But the number 8 car, Brian McKinney, trying to get up in it. Look at this little 3-pack. They're tight. Very tight. Going to turn 2. It's going to be low dive right there. There it is. Eric Richardson getting the nose in there. Once again, just pressuring McCarris. Corner after corner. They almost touch right there. He had to make some evasive maneuvers. And then there goes the wide car right there from Brian McKinney. He swings out wide to catch some draft going into turn 3. And I think that may have been Eric Richardson who got the worst of the bargain right there. He did. He gets shoved to the back. And the Haas of Brian McKinney is sitting up in 6th again. Up in 5th, excuse me. Eric Richardson just holding behind the 2. The Haas looking to make a move on the Wonder Bread car on the outside. What will the exit look like for these 2? I'm thinking Scott McCarris is going to have a much better exit. Yeah, it's pretty obvious how good that exit was from McCarris. But it's really good for the number 13 car. Here goes Eric Richardson, potentially going to stick a nose in there. No, he stays behind for now. Just catching draft, saving fuel. He knows he'll get there someday. Up ahead, 3rd place and 2nd place, still fighting it. Here goes 2nd place of Tyler Vickery gets in front. As Caden McAravey, it looks like almost let him through. Not too much of a fight right there. We are a little bit more than a third of the way through this race here today. Lap 15 right now of 40. And still everything yet to play for. We obviously have a bit of a runaway leader right now. It is Colton Gardner, who's had an absolutely exceptional race here so far today for Wednesday Night Dash at the Pocono 100. He has been flying since the green lights came down. Those that can't see his relative, since we actually don't have the relative cam up, he is 3.5 seconds ahead of 2nd place. Absolutely dominating. He looks phenomenal here. The Wrangler car and Tyler Vickery, to give you an example of how big that gap is, are less than a half a second away from each other. And that's what half a second looks like right there. Pretty decent sized gap. That's only half a second. Next car of Tyler Vickery, maybe he's just kind of trying to grind his way through these next few laps. Just stay consistent and say, hey, you know, in just a minute, I'm gonna get another opportunity after this competition caution comes out in about 4 more laps. He knows he's gonna get another chance, so maybe he's just chilling, waiting for that chance and playing the long game. Honestly, if I was Tyler, that's what I'd be doing right now. I'd be saying preserve these tires. You know, there's a chance, not a big chance, but there is a slight chance that Colton Gardner makes a bit of a mistake and gives up that position. And so if that does happen, you know, who's in the best spot to steal it? That would be Tyler, of course. A little bit farther back, I do want to give some love to these guys. Brian McKinney and Eric Richardson still fighting it so hard. McKinney going a little bit wide there, coming out of 3. A little bit too healthy on the throttle, I would say. Flew a little wide. We held it back in. Watch the way these guys use almost every single inch of track right here as they're going to be coming wide, coming out in turn one, that deep banking. Go rock up to the top. They don't go quite as high as I think they could have. They have a little bit more in them. You can see that Wonder Bread car of Scott McCarris. He has absolutely gapped out from everybody else. From those two behind him that were fighting with him. Right now he's got about a second lead over them. Relatively comfortable. He can just cruise for the next couple laps till they get to that competition caution. Hope he has a good pit strategy. His crew, puts on some fresh boots and tops his fuel off really quick so he can get back out there. And behind, still in the battle. Richardson. And Brian McKinney fighting it hard. Hunter Hughes, I think, may have disconnected. Hunter Hughes in the pits actually already. Hold on a second. What's going on with Hunter?
My bad, Tyler.
Let's take a look.
All good. All good.
Interesting from Hunter. He's posturing to go into a pit stop for really early. What went on with Hunter? Interesting. Puts on new tires now? Is this some competition caution strategy stuff? Does he think he can get out in front? I think he might be able to get out in front. Hold on a second. Is he trying to steal the lead from the pits by pitting just before the competition caution? What is he trying to do right here? He will come out ahead. Look at that. He's on fresh boots, though, so they're going to be cold. So let's take a look. Make sure he doesn't have a big slip up. Obviously behind him, it looks like Tyler Vickery and Caden McRae are still fighting super hard. But I do want to see to make sure that Hunter Hughes gets through.
Caution next time by.
Unscathed. This is such an interesting strategy right here. I am scratching my head quite literally as to exactly what he's thinking. I'd love to get inside of his head right now. Let's take a look back at second and third. Still fighting it super hard.
You let me know when you cross at 20, please.
God, man, I want to stake on Hunter Hughes because I'm confused as to why he would do that. What would motivate him to do that? We're on lap 20 now. Competition caution has been thrown. And, everybody will be slowing down. Everybody else will be going to the pits. Let's see how this works out for him. He's the one I want to watch. Everybody else,
Everybody keep coming.
they're all spreading out a little bit. Hunter Hughes is absolutely throttled. He's going as fast as he possibly can, is what it feels like. Very interesting strats, if you ask me. From a wide point of view. Yeah, he stays out. 55 seconds of pits. 55 seconds of lapping. He's gonna get out in front of the car. He got out in front of the caution car.
Pace car in one.
Hold on a second. Did you see how close that was? He got out in front of the pace car. You could just barely see the pace car coming out right there. As you can see in the bottom right corner, that little SC dot right in front of the one.
Pace car coming out of one.
Hold on a second. Is this going to be the most genius strategy we've seen yet here in Wednesday Night Dash? I think it just might be. This is looking mighty spicy, if you ask me. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So what's he going to do right here? They're all stuck behind that safety car, that pace car. Wow, he's just flying. Oh my gosh, dude. I am so intrigued as to what made him, make that call. That could have been the most genius call we've seen in a long time, or it could be very silly. What I'm thinking he's doing right here is he pit early, like I said, to be able to basically get in front of everybody as they go into the pits. And he'll be leading the race coming out. Otherwise, he would have been stuck in the back. He was sitting in 7th place. He was not having the best race ever. This could be his ticket to get up in the front. Hopefully he overfueled himself by a good amount. or by just enough, and he can make these tires last. If those tires start to drop, you know, there's nothing that's going to save you. All the drivers going in right now. See them coming through the pit lane right here. And again, there's Hunter Hughes. Yep. Yeah, and he's still out on track. Hunter Hughes now behind the pace car, leading the race. Oh my gosh. How genius was that move from Hunter Hughes? Obviously, time will tell if it's going to have been a good move, because he's going to be on, you know, 3-lap older tires and slightly less fuel, and hopefully he has enough to get him across the line without sputtering. But he's gotten the lead fair and square. You know, that's fair as he squares. He's, looks like we may have Tyler Vickery coming out of the pits in front. Wow. I was not expecting to say that. And Colton Gardner comes out in second. Tyler, great job on your launch coming out of the pits. Caden McAravey coming out third. No. Hold on a second. Caden McAravey coming out way back. Way back. Wow. That's crazy. So it goes Colton Gardner. Got beat out by Tyler Vickery. And then Scott McCarris. He's sitting up here in effective 4th place position. Amazing pit stop from him. That worked out very well. Right behind the 40 car.
Pace car in 3.
Scott McCarris letting us know where the pace car is. Scott. Okay, well, let's take a look at Hunter Hughes. What's he gonna do here?
Okay, Hunter, when you restart, you can start in the Geico zone. The official restart zone is disabled now, so hopefully we don't get a black flag for whoever's starting second.
This is gonna be so phenomenal to watch this start, man. I'm amazed by that genius strategy call from Hunter Hughes. Hitting a lap early, knowing that the competition caution was going to come out. Well, technically it was 2 laps early. Knowing that the competition caution was going to come out. What saved him was the fact that he was, you know, full throttle all the way during pace car conditions. So when he got past the pace car, he just barely eked past the pace car. If you remember watching that, he barely got past the pace car as it was coming out of the pits, which means that he could keep going on that lap. If he would have come out behind it, he would have been stuck. So it was a high-risk, high-reward play.
I better not hear someone going in first gear.
Wow, this is incredible. I am so excited. I am so excited. They're poking some fun at Tyler Vickery right now for a bit of a silly start that he made the other day. Right now, our order is Hunter Hughes in the lead, Tyler Vickery in second, Colton Gardner in third, Scott McCarris in fourth, Brian McKinney in fifth, Eric Richardson in sixth, Caden McAravey in seventh after fighting off for second for this whole race, and DJ Fluck in eighth. Go ahead and take a look at our championship leader, Mr. Eric Richardson. And once again, guys, take a look at these standings before we get going. Eric Richardson sitting up with 70 points. Colton Gardner at 40. Right now, he's sitting in second place, or third place in the race. He was leading for such a long time, but this pit stop kind of messed him up a little bit, and that crazy strategy call from Hunter Hughes really messed him up, who is sitting in third right behind him. So a lot can happen here. Get ready for us to go racing again, everybody. It looks like that pace car is probably going to run away into the pits. There he goes. He dips. And we're going to go on Hunter Hughes, Cam. Let's take a look at when he goes. He gets to the Geico zone. He's flying. And there's the 24 behind him. Gets a good launch behind him as well. With the 40 behind that, got an even better launch in my opinion. But behind them, it is Brian McKinney and Eric Richardson. A fight of the ages today. They've been just going at it since the start. Scott McCarris on the top side. He's looking pretty solid, Scott McCarris, actually. Might be able to make a move around the outside coming through turn one on the outside of the Haas car. The number 8, Mr. Brian McKinney. He does nose out in front of him. Brian McKinney maybe going to tuck in. Nope, he's going to stay down low and get a late lunge again, I'm sure. Oh, he's blinking a little bit. And he decides to back out. Got McCarris. Good line through turn 2. Looking pretty solid. Again, Hunter Hughes leading the race, but he's going to have the car pull out right next to him. That looks like it's Tyler Vickery with a amazing run coming out of turn 2. And Tyler Vickery's going to put the pressure on the 18 car. That's a little bit of bump and doors. The 18
Good? You good, Hunter?
barely saves it.
Did I drift up into you?
Oh, wow. And Hunter's
Very
good to go. But that was tight. And now he's down into third, almost into fourth. And Scott McCarris is trying to get opportunistic and take some places off that kerfuffle. Again, the slightly older tires maybe making a bit of a difference. Scott McCarris getting really low in there. Oh, my gosh. That was a bit of an aggressive move right there. He really thought he could get it. Couldn't quite. And a great run there for Hunter Hughes. We'll leave him in third. Pulled out car right there. It's the number 8 car, Brian McKinney. Trying to nose into Scott McCarris. Can't find it. And Tyler Vickery is on a tear coming out of this competition caution. He knew this was an opportunity for him to really put it down. He hasn't had any traffic, obviously, to deal with. He's just got the air as traffic, and he is flying through it. Scott McCarris, a little bit sketchy coming out of that corner in the Wonderbread car, as you can see. But he kept it enough. Second place, Colton Gardner, who was leading this race. Right now, Colton Gardner is going to be very excited to get these points. It's going to really help him out in his championship. Like I said, he's sitting in second place right now. So he needs every point he can get. And will it be enough is the real question. Maybe an opportunity right there? No, it was good defense from Tyler. I didn't want to give him that, but again, I think the exit's going to be pretty different. Ooh, bumped wall, actually. I thought the exit was going to be good for the 40 car, but touched a little bit too much wall. Wasn't his intention, I'm sure. Back in Scott McCarris going low underneath Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes just holding it in there. Oh, they're so close to bumping doors. I love this kind of racing. They are fighting it tooth and nail every single corner. They're not wanting to give each other anything that they have to. Give each other as little as possible to fight for as long as possible. The fight still goes on. Scott McCarris taking the low line again. This time he gets through quite handsomely. The 18 of Hunter Hughes with an amazing strategy call. He's not really able to capitalize on it as he's sitting now in 4th place. Scott McCarris sitting on the podium now. And we watched that pretty carefully. The Haas car, Brian McKinney, is looking quite hungry to take a spot. In fact, I think he may have already just taken the spot. Let's take a look at this. He does get in front of Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes having a really bad launch out of turn 2. Oh, no. Brian McKinney now up. Hunter Hughes goes down to 5th. In one lap, he went from 3rd to 5th, loses 2 positions. Oh, no, that's tough to see. Very tough to see. The train is formed with, unfortunately, DJ very far out of it. Once you lose that draft, it's really hard to get back into it, obviously. They make it about as hard as possible. At the back, though, the guy who was fighting for the front for the whole first half of this race is now settling for scraps, sitting in 7th. That's Mr. Caden McAravey fighting against Eric Richardson, again, our championship leader. And after this race, he should still be leading the championship, but by a much smaller margin. They almost touching doors right there. Panel to panel. Sliding into turn 3, they go. Who has more bravery? Down the exit right here. Going down underneath the apron is the number 3. Whoa, he got low. Those inside tires going underneath the yellow line just barely. Just barely. Stretching the track limits as much as he possibly can. Now, I know he doesn't want to play it, you know, like some other esports organizations that go underneath the apron to gain an advantage, if you know what I mean. For those of you guys that tune into the esports world. But I think aprons here definitely don't give you much of an advantage going down low because there's no arrow in these cars practically. So you're kind of playing with fire when you go down low like that. Up at the front, Mr. Tyler Vickery flying. Having a good time. Only 11 laps left to go here. As they're about to cross the line, they're coming through turn 3 right now. He's had a pretty dominant second half of the race. And remember, that competition caution shrinks that second half of the race from 20 laps, like the first half, down to about 15 because it's about 5 laps under caution. So Tyler having a lot less work to do. Gardner sitting in second. Scott McHarris in third. Brian McKinney in fourth. Hunter Hughes in fifth. Caden McRaven in sixth. DJ way at the back. We have a forfeit, actually. It's Eric Richardson has disconnected. Now, exactly what happened to him, I'm not sure. But he has disconnected. It looks like he disconnected into the pits. He may have just called it a day, or he's just sitting in the pits right now. Oh, he's just in the pits. What happened? Oh, he had a spin. Oh, no. Bit of an instant replay right here.
What happened?
Eric Richardson looks fine. Oh, a bit of a tap from the 3. Oh, that was definitely a little bit too opportunistic from Caden McAravey. And Eric Richardson flew into the wall, and that is his race all the way over, I'm sure. That's tough. You always hate to see that. And I'm sure that was not a purposeful pit maneuver from the number 3 car, Mr. Caden McAravey, but that was obviously how it ended up. Very unfortunate for him. Speaking of which, though, Caden McAravey in a heated battle right now with Hunter Hughes, who, after that brilliant strategy call, has had it all fall down on him. He's now sitting way back in 5th place and just fighting for scraps because, look at that. There goes Caden McAravey taking the low line. Again, the tire and fuel advantage, I'm wondering how much it's going to make a difference after that very early pit stop that Hunter Hughes did. I think those tires are really going to start just degrading so heavily. He's going to have serious trouble, staying in the race with the pace. It seems as if he has had trouble staying in the race pace-wise. Pretty much since the flags dropped, he's seemed a little bit out of it. Now, 2nd place right now, Mr. Colton Gardner. Look at him. He's gaining on Tyler Vickery. Tyler just has 8 laps to go to hold it down. Can he hold it down, or will he crack under the pressure that Colton Gardner, I'm sure, is looking to apply? So far, these 3 corners have proved to be surprisingly interesting. You'd think that in just 3 corners, not a whole lot can happen, but obviously, when you got a grid like this, a whole lot can happen. I'm so upset for Eric Richardson, man. He, obviously, he's been dominating this season all the way up until now. But having a crash out, a total DNF with no points is going to really hurt his championship. At least some points always makes a difference, you know what I mean? Colton Gardner actually losing touch now with Tyler Vickery. Excuse me, puberty. With Tyler Vickery. Tyler Vickery had a pretty solid lap last lap. He's starting to pull away again. Speaking of Tyler Vickery, he was unsure if he was going to be racing today, as he said that he was having some pretty major PC problems. Turned out to be a pretty minor incident, or pretty minor issue, and he got it all figured out pretty quickly. So he's back up on the sim. He's flying. He's having a really great race today. The best one of his season so far by a long shot. Holding down 1st place pretty convincingly. Now, Eric Richardson is coming back out on track. Back out there, comes out behind the whole pack. After getting those repairs done. Well, it's not been too bad of repairs if he could come out that fast and it didn't total him for the entire race. So right now, Eric Richardson still likely to get some points. He'll be in last place, finishing in 8th, but if you finish, that's some points, and I think he needs every single point he can get if he wants to stay relevant in the championship. Goes really wide and then down low. Oh, save it! Oh no, he does not! Oh, huge mistake from Eric Richardson. He's gonna go way out onto the top of the track. Let's hope DJ Fluck can dodge him. Oh, Eric Richardson just got awkward and did him in. Oh, you hate to see that. That is tough. Eric Richardson, I think he swung a little bit too wide on those cold tires. The slight overcorrection pushed him way far to the left onto the bumpy bits. And those bumpy bits unsettled the car enough to cause a spin. And that spin was terminal. Eric Richardson out of today's race. Almost certainly. If he can somehow get back out on track, I will be amazed. But I'm sure he wants to just so he can cross the line and get some points. Now, speaking of points right there, there's somebody fighting for some. We got Brian McKinney and Caden McAravey scrapping away here on lap 35. Coming around the final corner, Caden McAravey poking a nose in there, saying, hey, Brian, remember me? I'm right here. The 3 and the 8. Battling it out. Gets door as wide as he possibly can. There goes the Haas. Staying high. Will it be a bad exit? It's a really bad exit from the Haas. And that was a massive pass from Caden McAravey. He said, I'm going to send this one. I think I got him done and dusted, and he definitely did got him done and dusted. That was very, very easy for him. Hunter Hughes, like I said, master strats on the strategy call. No master strats here on the race pace. He is way far out of touch. Back up in the lead. Tyler Vickery fighting off Colton Gardner just behind him. You can see 0.7 of a second separates the two. Race, top 2 steps of the race today. Wow, that was a hard one to get out. Just 0.7 seconds separates these two. Better way of putting it. In third place, Scott McCarris is pretty far back. He's almost 4 seconds away from the leader, so it's very unfortunate for him, but, it is what it is. He's fighting his best to get back in there, but it's not quite there. However, I don't think he's too mad about it because right now, Scott McCarris, if he comes home like this, he will be scoring a podium. A podium's a podium. Colton Gardner looked like he's really losing touch with Tyler Vickery in these last couple laps. Maybe Tyler's just saved his tires a little bit better. That's why he's flying. And Harper, there's really no way to fully tell exactly what they're doing to make themselves go so fast. Tyler Vickery is definitely doing something right because take a look at how quick he is. We're on the roll cam right here. He's going to be diving into turn 1. See where he brakes, where he lifts. Lifts at the 1 cone. Does downshift into 4th. The power halfway through. Rocks it wide. Exactly the way you need to. Up into 5th, going into towards turn 2. A lot of shifting here from Tyler Vickery. He likes to go down into 4th and really utilize that power band. As you can hear, he's flying this track right now. Everybody else behind has kind of had big gaps. Who's sitting in 7th right now, though? It's looking like it's DJ Fluke still. Way at the back, unfortunate. It's a bit of a tough race. We are on 2 to go now. Just 2 laps to go. The penultimate lap,
I'll let you
as
have
one
it
would say.
inside, Eric.
I'll just chill behind you. You're good.
Look at this lead that Tyler has garnered for himself. He's at almost 2 seconds of a lead. Now look at that. The car behind of Colton Gardner is but an ant in his rear view mirror. It is so far and so tiny, it is of no concern. Tyler Vickery just has 4 more corners to go as he dives in to turn 3. He knows, I got 1 more lap to go. Let's take a look at it from the cockpit camera. He'll see the man waving the flag. Top right corner. As the white flag comes out, we got 1 lap to go here in Pocono for the Pocono 100 of Wednesday Night Dash. And Tyler Vickery has had the race that he needed to come back in this championship. Remember, last season he was our season champion here for Wednesday Night Dash, and he has had such a terrible start to this season. He's been feeling quite demoralized about his opportunities to come back this year. But after a race like this, I'm sure he'll be thinking a lot differently about his hopes in the championship. As he rounds around turn 2, stays away from the barrier, keeps it clean, cool, calm, and collected. He's doing the wiggles. He knows he's got it. He's just got 1 more corner to keep it tight, keep it straight, keep it smooth and on the track. And he goes through slow and smooth to come around turn 3 NB Wednesday Night Dash's Pocono 100 winner here. Congratulations to Tyler Vickery. Finally back on the top step here in Wednesday Night Dash. Second place does go to Colton Gardner. Third to Scott McCarris. Fourth to Caden McAravey. Fifth to Brian McKinney.
Good race.
Sixth to Hunter Hughes. Seventh to DJ Fluke at the very back. And eighth
That was wild.
to Eric
Okay.
Richardson after getting
Yep,
such a
okay.
terrible terrible luck with those crashes, but he does still at least get some points. Wow. What a race. Let's go ahead and try to get Mr. Tyler Vickery into the box. I'm sure he's going to be more than down to jump in here. Let's get him in here, Mr. Tyler Vickery. Well, hello, Tyler.
Well,
How you feeling, my friend?
yeah, let's just say, I guess the comeback story's brewing, maybe?
I was telling the viewers that you were having, a bit of a tough season so far, and you've been really concerned about your opportunities to come back in this championship. But after a race like today, I mean, what does that do for the confidence?
Oh, well, I mean, since I gotta do some burnouts here, oh, God, it gives me some confidence, especially can have some fun over at New Smyrna Speedway. Those guys always support me, and we've got that World Series of Asphalt coming around, so I'm going to be really busy for the next 9 nights, so it kind of gives me a little bit of momentum and confidence going into there, too, so, but, yeah, oh, gosh, I can't. I got a new computer coming in. I've got some kind of issue happening with this. I think it was the power supply, but this computer is like 8 years old. I had it built back in 2015, so kind of gives the age.
Yep.
So running on a i5 4th gen, yeah, that kind of says how old a lot of this stuff is.
It's running on an i5 and a dream is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and an old graphics card too, like a 1650 Ti.
Oh wow,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good you're going to be getting an upgrade because we want to see you. We want to see you on this top step more often. Because seriously, man, today your race was great. I mean, that was very smart. Obviously, as soon as you got up in the lead after that competition caution, I thought the race was basically over for you. Like you destroyed coming out of that. Coming out of the competition caution, you looked so good.
Yeah, the competition caution. It was like, I don't know why, but these cars have always been my Achilles heel. It for some reason it's just I don't know if it's just because of iRacing with their setups. I just have never been fond with it, and then even when I try to build my own setups to work for me, it's very tire sensitive. So
now I thought that first gear was your Achilles heel rather than the cars themselves.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was yeah. Ignore Darlington. That was a big red face moment, and then everything else that happened afterwards.
The opportunity was there. I had to take it.
Oh, I know. Oh, trust me, I have been picked fun of by some of my other sim racing friends that I race with VSM, and yeah, everyone's been picking fun with me about it, and then yeah.
Well, it happens to the best of us. It's not the end of the world.
Oh yeah, no, I was like, wow. When that happened, I was like, yeah, that's yeah, it's been a while since I've done that. Usually, the last time I did that was in a series not to be named anymore. So yeah, it's been a little while since I've done that.
Well, I will say congratulations on your race tonight. It was a pleasure to commentate, and well done to secure your first W of the season and start that comeback.
Yeah, hopefully Chicago. I'm really good with road courses, so I'm looking forward to Chicago. It's going to be a little different with these cars.
Oh yeah,
braking's going to be way different. I mean, I've run practice in these cars before, so hopefully, granted, last season in the ARCA cars, I had a good battle with Hunter and Colton. So we'll just, as well as Mark Vega, which I don't think he's been able to make it, or Mark Vicaris. So yeah, I know he hasn't been able to make it much for that, but yeah, it's just been road courses are the ones that I know I'm decent at. So we'll see what happens in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. Well, thanks again for your good racing tonight, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Definitely, absolutely. Thanks again, guys.
Later, Tyler. Alrighty, guys, and that concludes our Pocono 100 here. That was absolutely amazing here at Stadium Scene TV. I hope you guys all had a great time. I am going to be signing off for the night. Again, my name is Eli Singh, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight for Wednesday Night Dash. In 2 weeks' time, like we were talking about, we are going to the Chicago Street Circuit. Next week, we'll have another off week. Then we're back to Chicago Street Circuit, and then we are back-to-back for all the races to finish off the rest of the season. The week after Chicago will be Atlanta, then Kansas, and then my home race, the Phoenix Raceway. Once again, my name is Eli Singh.